Hello, Metis Guardians. I hope you all are fine and enjoying a very safe and sound health. In today's tutorial, we will discuss about etiopathogenesis of cell injury. Learning objectives for today's topic are basic or general terms related to cell injury along with their definitions, basic types and causes of cell injury, their mechanism or pathogenesis of cell injury. The ultimate goal of every cell in our body is to maintain homeostasis. However, in certain situations, due to change in microenvironments, cell undergo structural and functional changes, which are known as cell adaptations. These microenvironmental changes can be physiological or pathological. There are four basic types of cell adaptations which are very useful in maintaining homeostasis. They are hypertrophy, hyperplasia, atrophy, and metaplasia. We will discuss their some basic details in later studies. If cell could not adapt according to microenvironmental changes, they undergo cell injury. It can be reversible or irreversible. In reversible injury, if stimulus is removed, the cell can be brought back to normal state, while its opposite in irreversible cell injury. I will discuss their details in next video. Now I will give you a very basic outline of some basic terms which will be useful for cell injury knowledge. Hypoxia. A deficiency of oxygen reaching tissues of the body is called hypoxia. It can be four situations: hypoxemic from low blood oxygen content, anemic from low blood oxygen carrying capacity, distributive from low blood flow, hystoxic from poisoning. Second term is necrosis, which can be premature death of cell and living tissues. Apoptosis, which can be ATP dependent genetically programmed cell death involving single cell or small groups of cells. Aplasia is incomplete or faulty development of an organ or body part. It can be failure of cell production in embryogenesis. Hyperplasia is associated with increase in number of cells, while hypoplasia is decreased in cell production during embryogenesis, resulting in a relatively small organ. Metaplasia occurs via reprogramming of stem cells which then produce new cell types. Metaplasia is actually stress on an organ due to a change in cell type. Dysplasia is disordered cellular growth, often refers to proliferation of precancerous cells. Now we will discuss some causes of cell injury. We all know that when cell is not able to adapt, it progresses to cell injury. Now we will see some important causes of cell injury. One is hypoxia. I must say hypoxia is one of the most major and common cause of cell injury and death. It has several reasons of hypoxia, which can be reduced blood flow or ischemia or inadequate oxygenation of blood due to cardiorespiratory failure, or in some cases hypoxia can be due to carbon monoxide poisoning or anemia. And last one cause of hypoxia can be severe blood loss. These are common causes of hypoxia. Anyways, let's see some other causes which are chemical and physical agents. Now, physical causes may be mechanical trauma like change in temperature or radioactivity or shock and so on. While chemical agents are so much that I even can't list them. Even you can say oxygen is very injurious in higher concentration. Even glucose can also be injurious in higher concentration. So next cause is infectious agents, and they are also in very huge amount. You can enlist them agents from your microbiology textbook. Next agents are immunological reactions, and we know immune system is very important against defense of various pathogens, but we need to know these immunological reactions. Genetic abnormalities can be as subtle as single base pair substitution or as obvious as chromosomal abnormalities. They can cause cell injury because of lack of functional proteins in form of damaged DNA or bond deficiencies. Another important cause is nutritional imbalance either in form of deficiencies or excess. Likewise, aging can be also a major cause along with iatrogenic causes which can be accidental administration of certain drugs. In spite of knowing so many causes of cell injury or cell death and so many etiological facts of cell injury, there are instances that what is exactly the reason for which particular cell is being injured. That's when you call it idiopathic, when you cannot make whatever cause of cell injury is. Now let's talk about mechanism of cell injury. In other words, pathogenesis of cell injury. Basic principle will remain same in all processes. First is nature of injury, duration and severity. Nature means it can be from any of the cause we listed just above. Lower will be severity, lower will be damage, and if agent is more severe, then more damage. Next point is type, state and adaptability of injured cells. Two most common examples which are used to remember this point is skeletal muscle versus cardiac muscle. As we know, skeletal is more stronger than cardiac muscle, so it means cardiac muscles are more vulnerable to injury. And likewise, neurons are even at more higher risk of cell injury as compared to cardiac muscles. Next point is injury results from various biochemical mechanisms acting on several components within the cell. When I say several components, it can be mitochondria, it can be the membranes, it can be in skeleton, it could be protein machinery or in nuclei containing DNA and RNA. First mechanism is depletion of ATP and lower concentration of ATP synthesis. Most often due to hypoxia, and toxic cell injury is due to reduced oxygen supply. Activity of electron transport chain is low, causing reduction in ATP synthesis, and sodium potassium pump depends upon ATP. So if ATP level is low, then sodium potassium activity also will be low, and hence sodium influx occurs. And we know after sodium influx, water absorption also occurs, causing cellular swelling. Due to hypoxic activity of anaerobic glycolysis also occur, which will increase, which causes accumulation of lactic acid inside the cell, causing reduction of intracellular pH, which is tend to reduce enzymatic activity of anaerobic glycolysis, which tend to use glucose which derived from intracellular storehouses, and hence depletion of glycogen stores of the body occurs. Lower ATP causes failure of calcium pump, results in excessive calcium influx with further ATP depletion, and ribosomes start to detach from endoplasmic reticulum, causes reduction in protein synthesis. Second mechanism is mitochondrial damage, which can be caused due to reactive oxygen species, hypoxia, and increased cytosolic calcium. These are two major consequences of mitochondrial damage. One is formation of high conduction mitochondrial permeability transition pores. These channels lock calcium ions to leak out freely into cytosol, causing loss of membrane potential. This reduces oxidative phosphorylation by decreasing oxidity and further decrease in ATP synthesis. While the second is release of apoptotic proteins and enzymes such as cytochrome C and caspases. These enzymes and proteins damage cell and trigger cell death by apoptosis. Third mechanism is calcium influx and loss of calcium homeostasis. Normally, free cytosolic calcium concentration is maintained very low due to several activation effects of calcium ions. Main stores are endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and due to ischemia toxin, cytosolic calcium level is increased initially due to release of calcium from intracellular stores followed by calcium influx to cell membrane. And we already know increased calcium can damage mitochondria and cause mitochondrial permeability transition pores. Calcium excess and activation of enzymes including phospholipases which causes cell membrane damage, endonucleases which causes DNA and chromatin fragmentation, proteases which causes breakdown of membrane and cytoskeletal proteins, and ATPases which causes ATP hydrolysis. Calcium ions also promote apoptotic enzymes and hence promote apoptosis. Fourth mechanism is accumulation of oxygen-trapped free radicals, also called oxidative stress. Free radicals have unpaired electrons and are highly unstable. They donate electrons to cellular components and causes their damage. Free radicals can be generated inside the cell by a number of reactions including oxidation reduction reaction in normal metabolic pathways, absorption of radiant energy, activated leukocytes during inflammation, metabolism of drugs and exogenous chemicals. Transition metals like iron and copper also have ability to induce and generation of free radicals. Nitric oxide is produced by endothelial cells, neurons and macrophages. Although it is usually not free radical itself, but it can be converted into highly reactive free radicals such as nitrogen dioxide, peroxynitrite ion and nitrate ion. In normal cells, there is mechanism of deactivation and to reduce generation of free radicals and deoxidants. Either block the initiation, free radical deactivate already formed free radicals. Common antioxidants include vitamin A, E, ascorbic acid and glutathione. Metal transport proteins in blood bind to transition metals and reduce free radicals. Transferrin, ferritin, ceruloplasmin and lactoferrin are common transport proteins. Enzymes such as catalase, glutathione peroxidase also play a role in free radical production. Pathological effects of free radicals are lipid peroxidation, oxidative modification of proteins and lesions in DNA. Fifth and last mechanism is defects in membrane permeability in all membranes including plasma membrane, mitochondrial membrane, endoplasmic reticulum. As I told at start of video, membranes can be damaged by reactive oxygen species which cause lipid peroxidation, decreased phospholipid synthesis by ATP depletion, increased phospholipid breakdown by phospholipase activity, and cytoskeletal abnormalities by protease activity. Damage to plasma membrane results in loss of osmotic balance, influx of fluids and ions, and loss of cellular contents. Lysosomal membrane damage results in release of lysosomal enzyme, while mitochondrial membrane damage results in mitochondrial permeability transition pores. This was all about cell injury, causes, types, its basic 5 mechanisms and some very important terms for pathology of cell injury and cell death. So see you in next video. Till then, stay safe and stay connected. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share with your friends. Thank you.